Hey folks, it's Patriot Nurse. I want to talk with you about what the NRA has just done, how they've sold out their members, how they pretty much hung us out to dry, and how they betrayed their base. And it starts with their little public statement that they made yesterday regarding the encouragement for a completely unconstitutional bureaucracy to regulate a completely legal firearm accessory. And there's been a lot of people who somehow think that they are these amazing long-term strategists and that they're going to play games with the left and that somehow they're going to, to game this thing. And if we just give them this, and let me read to you what they said yesterday. Out of Fairfax, Virginia, the Beltway. The National Rifle Association today issued the following statement. In the aftermath of the event and senseless attack in Las Vegas, the American people are looking for answers as to how future tragedies can be prevented. Unfortunately, the first response from some politicians has been to call for more gun control. Banning guns from law-abiding Americans based on the criminal acts of a madman will do nothing to prevent future attacks. True. This is a fact that has been proven time and time again in countries across the world. In Las Vegas, reports indicate that certain devices were used to modify the firearms involved. Reports indicate. Not that the full investigation has played out and that all of the information has been processed and all of the crime scene evidence has been sifted through, cataloged, and reviewed. No, none of that. Reports. Reports. Despite the fact that the Obama administration approved the sale of bump fire stocks on at least 2 occasions, the National Rifle Association is calling on the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives to immediately review whether these devices comply with federal law. So let me get this straight, NRA. You're supposed to be the vanguard protecting the Second Amendment, and yet the first thing that you're doing, the first option that you are going to is regulation by an unconstitutional body in the midst of having essentially zero political pressure and nothing to lose, with both houses of Congress and the executive branch solidly in Republican hands. Now I think we're really finding out just what turncoats and absolute sellouts the Republican leadership as well as the NRA are. You're going to go ahead and ask that the ATF, the same people who brought you Waco, are going to review whether or not a completely legal firearm accessory is going to be essentially banned via further regulation. The NRA believes that devices designed to allow semi-automatic rifles to function like fully automatic rifles should be subject to additional regulation, as if somehow that automatic rifles are bad. In an increasingly dangerous world, the NRA remains focused on our mission, strengthening American Second Amendment freedom to defend ourselves, our families, and our communities. Did you not read the prior few sentences there, NRA? To that end, on behalf of our 5 million members, well, 4,999,998 now, no longer. To that end, on behalf of our 5 million members across the country, we urge Congress to pass a national right to carry reciprocity, which will allow law-abiding Americans to defend themselves and their families from acts of violence. Where the hell have you guys been for the past 10 months? What have you been doing? Boozing it up, schmoozing it up there in the Beltway? Is that what this $10 million worth of revenue does? Clearly, it doesn't help support the reason why most of us joined. Now, here's the thing. I hear a bunch of people right now, a bunch of useless, slack-jawed, turkey-necked Fudds out there, little duck hunters, like, oh, nobody needs a bump stock. Nobody needed an AR-15 or an AK, did they, in 1993, 1994, Fudds. You guys are so freaking useless, man. I have become convinced at this point that the vast majority of American gun owners are gutless, toothless cowards. Because when it comes right down to it, they are willing to compromise. And this not really scary thing, predictable at this point with a bunch of corporate fat cats. The thing is that they are willing to trade something that is not theirs to gain and consolidate even more political power. I'm sorry, NRA, but you do not have the last say when it comes to what constitutes the Second Amendment. Like, that's not you. You are a lobbying group. That's what you are. And when I hear a lot of people saying right now is, oh, if they ban this or if they ban this, they're going to come take our guns. Here's the objective reality of the situation here. These people are not going to be there to defend your rights to carry and own firearms. They're not. They just proved it there. They proved by offering up with zero effectively political pressure and no real world chance of consequences with a solidly red Congress, they proved that they believe that your rights are theirs to parse up and give away. Like party favors at a 4-year-old's birthday party. Here, have this, have this. I'm sorry, NRA. Wayne LaPierre. Chris Cox, man, I'm really disappointed in you. I really thought better of you, man. We shook your hand at NRA convention. And this is what you do? Folks, The NRA is not the last line of defense of the Second Amendment. You are. I am. The only person that's going to come and take rifles from you is someone whom you let disarm you. We are getting to the point right now, and I will include a link in the description box below. We're getting to the point where the left is already owning that the end of peaceable and civil dialogue on this situation and on our right to defend ourselves. They are increasingly calling for an end to peaceful dialogue and recognizing that it's going to take force to do this, okay? So be it. So be it. If you're going to sit there and try and tell me that my right to defend myself is up to your subjective determination as to what I need, first off, who are you to determine what I need? What qualitative experience and use of deadly force guarantees you the right to be able to subjugate my rights to your whims? No, No, when we get to the point where people are saying, hey, you don't need this, you don't need this, we're done talking. I'm not talking to you. Oh, I don't think you should own that. I don't think that anyone needs that. Okay, listen. So what are you going to do about mine? You going to come and get them? Didn't think so. Oh, you're going to have somebody else's son or daughter come in and knock on doors. You're going to have somebody else's son or daughter try and draft legislation or do this, that, and the other. How about you not be a coward? You want my guns? You come take them. Just sit back and wait. Whatever, man. No, the NRA sold its people out. But then again, you know, when you've got Elmer Fudds running the thing, you got people who think that the Second Amendment primarily exists to keep their shale supply nice and deep, so that way they can go duck hunting or deer hunting or whatever hunting as the case may be. No way, man. No, completely gutless, toothless cowards. We have sat by and compromised from the 30s forward. With any time that we sit down at the table, we lose. So why are we sitting down at the table anymore? I'm done talking to people. I'm not compromising anymore. You're not getting my stuff. I don't care what it is. And here's the thing. The thing with gun owners, guys, is that every single time that something comes up, if it's not their little pet peeve, it's, oh, I shotguns, and you don't need those AR-15s. They just completely hang people out to dry. It's a 100% lack of solidarity, and to be honest, a lack of cojones. I long for the days of real men. Thank God I actually have one. Seems to be in very short supply nowadays, especially at the NRA. That's okay, because the last defense of the Second Amendment is not a bunch of fat cat lobbyists in the Beltway. It's you and me. NRA can do what they want to do. They can continue to serially betray their members. I've had enough. I'm not giving them any more money. I'm cutting up my life card. Maybe that'll be a great video. But no, guys, I'm done. The last line of defense for the Second Amendment is not a bunch of fat cats in the Beltway. It's you and me and our rifles and our pistols. The end. For now, it's Patriot Nurse signing off, and I'll see y'all later.